Alex, 7 days since the disappointment of Walsall. What have you done with your week? How's it been? Have you been working hard out there?
Yeah, I think. Listen, we always work hard outside. I think that we had a day off after Walsall to stew on it. I think, and I think. Listen, I think when you look back at that game, I thought that we weren't us in terms of how we want to move the ball and move the ball forward, our aggression and things. But I think when you look back at it, 1-0 up, I felt it was just going to be our game to go and win. And the goals we conceded were poor from our point of view. But I think the major part was we had 19 shots and one on target. And they're the moments that in those kind of games, in cup games, you've got to be front-footed and take your opportunities, because it can come back to bite you like it did for us. And we're disappointed because obviously that's a cup we want to do well in. We want to win every game that we play in. So, yeah, really disappointed. But we had a reaction in training. These players work extremely hard every day, which they do. And they're focused on what is a big week ahead of us.
Do you have to tweak things after a game like that in training with you, Neil and Scott? Do you have to change things up a little bit?
No, listen, I think that we obviously made changes to the team, circumstantial as well, because of injuries. And I think that, in those types of games, we had a lot more ball than we normally have. And I think they're the games that for a long time now, that when a team's sitting against us, and we have to break teams down, that's what we have to improve on. So in terms of training, yeah, we need to do more sessions like that, because it's going to happen more, especially, the more successful you are, teams are going to come and change or be a little bit more defensive. And for us, that's something that's been a bit of an Achilles heel at times. So we have to make sure we improve at that and have better options, more aggression in our movement to receive and move the ball, because that's what you have to do against teams that sit in. So all those things we have to improve on. But it's only, you only get a certain amount of time. But our focus has been on tomorrow night, and making sure that the squad's ready, the team's ready, that we're organised and everybody knows their roles and responsibility to be able to perform tomorrow night.
And previous to that, in the 2 league games away from home, changed the system, went to a 3 at the back, kept 2 clean sheets. Is that something that is going to be plan B, or are you going to revert back to a 4, or is it just, keep everyone guessing?
Well, I think we are adaptable. The players that we have in our squad, we can play both systems. I think that playing the shape that we did against Walsall was obviously, like I say, personnel that we had. We had Louis Thompson coming back from a long time out, starting his first game, and all those things. So you play a shape that, for me, suits the players you have available. And that night, that's what it suited, and we just didn't perform as well as we want to. But I think that it's important for us to always pick a team and a shape that gets the best out of our players, again, that we have available. So they've worked hard on different shapes, and we've proven that this year that we can flip between the two, and the work that they've done. And like I've always said, like that they understand it clearer now in terms of messages. They listen, they learn, they act, and that's why we are where we are. And now we've just got to make sure that we have a reaction from last Tuesday, but also they take on all the information they've had over the past few days, that they use that to get the right result tomorrow night.
You mentioned Louis in there. Louis and Saxon both back from injury. That must be really helpful, but you're being really careful with them.
Yeah, well, Sax, for us, the game was too soon. For Saxon, he's come such a long way. In order for him to go back and see when he played regularly was probably here, really, in terms of match after game after game. So we felt that he gave a lot against Wigan, and we probably felt Tuesday was just a bit too soon. He was ill after the game as well, just because of the adrenaline and how much it took out of him. So we had to be careful. And Louis, again, before starting, you have to go back to last year where he started the game. So for us, it's he's worked extremely hard to get back, but we also know that he's still getting to that point where we know what Louis Thompson at his best can do, and we have to try and get him there as quickly as we can, because we're being tested in that area at the moment, and but he's a good pro. He's someone that you ask him to do something and he'll do it, and he's an absolute team player. So it's great to have them both back.
So Cardiff come to town. It's third versus first, but only in games in hand. How are you looking at it?
Well, you can see from their results, it's a difficult game. Of course, they're a good squad. They're, in terms of expectations, I'm sure that they're probably everyone's favourite to go up this year, and probably from their own fans, that's the expectation. So we have to manage that. But for us, it's about, at home, we haven't lost at home in the league. It's about maintaining that run. It's about all the things that we've done throughout the season in order to get results, about organisation, being aggressive, front-footed, first, second balls, all those things that make us our team. We have to get right, and playing against the top team is no different. I think that we're all really excited by it. We're looking forward to playing at home again, to make sure that, like I said, it's when you've always got something to prove, it picks people up. We've got, the squad is ticking along nicely in terms of when they're out on the pitch, they're all performing. So it makes our job harder because they're performing, and we've just got to make sure we react and put in a Stevenage performance again at home.
Any injuries back tomorrow night? Jordan Houghton had a bit of a tweak. Is he going to be involved?
So Jordan's been training. I think we've lost a few, to be honest with you. So but that's why we've got this squad. We've got a few people out, but we need to make sure that the players coming in and they're ready and ready to go. And it might mean that we have to jiggle a few things around, but everybody knows their jobs. Everybody knows what we have to deliver, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the team that we put out there go and perform.
It's a big test, isn't it? I mean, in July, would you have thought early December you'd be playing the league leaders and you'd be playing to go 1 point behind them with a game in hand?
No, it's just credit to the players. I think in recent weeks, we've been that little bit of inconsistency maybe in the last few weeks, but at the start of the season, we had the mindset of just every game, and I've already spoke about this, about when you go top, it gives a new pressure. It changes people's mentality when they come to play you, and we have to get used to that. But we deserve to be where we are because of the performance we've put in, and it's just about that confidence and belief that when you step onto a football pitch, you feel you're winning. You win games. No other thought process apart from you're a team together. And that's what we've got. We've always had that since I've been here now, and that togetherness of what this group is. They want to win games. When they lose, it hurts them. Never be through lack of effort or that we lose a game. It might be through a little bit of quality, a little bit of inconsistency sometimes, and we have to make sure we stay very level. But we've put ourselves in a really good position, and now it's about making sure at home we keep doing what we've been doing.
There's going to be a lot of them travelling along the M4 tomorrow. What can you say to the Stevenage fans that haven't got their ticket yet?
Well, obviously we need them. We need them to come and support for us because it is a big game. I think, realistically, this is Bradford again. This is a moment where we need everybody to support us. I think that we want to hear them. I've always said they're the 12th person to support us. They give us the noise and we react. I think that it's so important for us to everyone be on the same page that we're pushing. And these players will give everything for the shirt. They will. And I know that people watching will know that, but we need them to support. We need them that belief, especially at home, to make sure when they turn up that we put on a performance for them, and they can help us to get a win at home against the top team. And like I say, we do everything we can do to make sure we do that.
To finish, in the football world, influencers are looking at coming around clubs and doing their thing. No different at Stevenage. You had some players taking free kicks last week that didn't do very well. And I just saw you stroll out with a cup of coffee in hand. You gave your excuses before, cool, which I liked. But some people are saying it should be Revs and Reedy out front.
Well, I mean, I didn't want to talk about it, to be honest, but
it's got to be talked about.
Yeah, I know. Right.
Buried it.
I was lucky that the wall was very low because it barely got off the ground. But just a bit of fun. It's the way the football's going now. I think that it's the way that advertising and getting our name and is so important now. And I knew I had to score, obviously, to improve that because Chairman Kempy was so bad. But probably a lucky one, I think.
Let's hope Kempy learnt something. Thanks, Alex.
Thanks, mate.